Hi everyone, my name is Rios. I'm a senior industrial designer for mountain bike components at SRAM, and this is Chipita. Say hello. Today I'm going to share with you a bit of my design sketching process and some tips that would hopefully help you improve your own sketching ability. Alright, enjoy! So as I mentioned before, during the day I designed really cool mountain bike parts. You can head over to sram.com/mtb or on Instagram at SRAMMTB to see some of the latest products and technologies that we have going on. And during my free time, I really like to sketch. So Advanced Design Sketching asked me to put together this video to help you improve your sketching ability regardless of where you are right now. So some of the topics that I'll cover are my daily warm-up routine for design sketching, my analog design sketching workflow, and then my digital design sketch workflow. I want to start off by demonstrating some of the warm-up exercises that I do on a daily basis to improve my sketching ability. The idea here is to synchronize your drawing muscles with your brain. You want to be able to accurately put down on paper exactly what you're thinking and what you're seeing in your mind's eye. So at the same time as you're getting the blood flowing into your arm, getting loosened up, you're also trying to perfect the core fundamentals of design sketching, which are straight parallel lines, squares, circles, and ellipses, in my opinion. Once you can create those accurately, you should be able to draw any combination of shapes and create any forms that you can see and imagine. So a typical warm-up routine, as you see here, is I'll start with a page of squares, do parallel line hatching, try to keep those as straight and as even as possible. Then I'll switch over to circles, remembering to ghost them in before you put them on the page. Then move over to ellipses of varying degrees, and of those I'll usually do a page or two until I can tell that they're accurate. Now that I have those, I can tell my arm is loosened up and it's nicely synchronized with my brain. I like to put it all together and do a combination of squares, circles, rectangles, cylinders, and basically convert them into 3D shapes and forms. Combine shading, add all the elements together, and make sure I'm in sync. Only at this point, then I'll start doing an actual product design sketch. Now that I'm all warmed up, then I can begin actual product design sketching. For this video, I chose lounge chairs as my subject matter. I like to keep it varied, try to draw something different every day if I can. And at this point, I'm doing two things. I'm familiarizing myself with the product's architecture, the anatomy of it, as well as trying to see which form is the one that's going to come out and be the final one that I choose to render. Once I have the shape roughly figured out in my head, I would like to do an orthographic view of sorts to figure out the proportions, the shape, and then do a rough composition with a very light marker. And this is usually as far as I'll go with my analog sketch before I switch over to the digital workflow. So in order to begin a digital sketch, I'll usually take a photo of that rough underlay we saw earlier with the iPad camera, lower the opacity, and just start sketching right over it. At this point, I'll fix the perspective, get all the shapes right how I want them. And the advantage of a digital sketch like this is I can do it over and over as many times as I need to get the right form. Not really worried about the finished product. Usually at this point I'll also establish a light source and rough in the shadow that I'm going to make just to ground the object. Once I have that rough line work figured out, I'll lower the opacity on that layer, make a new layer, and start working on the final line work with my inking pen. Just tighter, figuring out the form, figuring out how they overlap each other. Also doing contour lines to establish the volumes, and very importantly, line weight. The rule of thumb here is if you can wrap your hand around it, then it's an external line, and it should be thicker than all the internal lines. After that, I'll shade in each color on a different layer, and then I'll use those colors as masks, which will contain my shading. I'll usually start with the lowlights and then the highlights, and all true to the light source, of course. Once all the shading is done, then I like to pick a background color that's going to complement the design nicely. And I throw in a vignette, then rough in the shadow, get the colors right, get the composition figured out. Then usually right at the end, I like to tighten the part lines and hit it with a white pencil just to make it all pop. And there you have it. This is the process that I follow to create a digital sketch that I can post later on. Okay, everybody, thank you for watching. I sincerely hope you got something out of this video and it's inspired you to go out there and sketch. If you'd like to keep up with my daily sketch exercises, you can always follow me on Instagram at Rios Design. And happy sketching. Bye-bye.